No, I did think of that actually.
Yeah, I was actually like, oh.
I was like, oh, I haven't posted. And then also our last 2 videos, I obviously posted within like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
And it said like it posted 11 days ago.
Yeah, I read that.
And now our views are quite high.
I know.
Both of them.
I don't know.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
And the title wasn't like sexual or anything, so I was like,
no,
I get the algorithms.
Pretty basic, to be honest. So a friend of mine was saying that today. He was saying that he has over like 5K followers on each platform. So he's got Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and his reels and his videos were performing better on Facebook than they were on Instagram.
So weird.
And Instagram, he's like more of his followers on there.
Yeah, you just can't ever like pick it, I don't think.
No, it's weird.
Some people are just like, cool, when we talk about sex and we get real toxic, we get more.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, I think the title,
Definitely helps.
Fuck Me Daddy, made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To why we got so many views on that one.
Yeah.
But then the other ones I'm kind of like, oh. And then size does matter, fair.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was a title, because then 10 fuck is free.
Yeah.
Again, people are just cheeky, like, ooh.
Yeah.
I want to see what
bit of
that. And then you just hear us talking shit about men.
Yeah, literally all the time.
So is it that big of a deal?
Yeah, no, I don't know. But anyway.
But obviously we did say we were going to try and do weekly again, and we've kind of,
we fucked that up.
Yeah.
But for a good reason.
Yes.
It's okay. You girls were a bit busy last week.
We've been chock-a-block.
Oh no, I did see you last week.
But this is why we didn't do it.
But it hasn't been a week since I've seen you last.
No, it has. It's been...
it's just over a week and a day. Yeah, right.
So obviously, as you'll see from when this is posted, we have done a bit of a photo shoot. Shout out to Web B Works. They're
shout out to my girls, Alex and Mon.
And
big
Sandy,
love.
the dog
and
was adorable.
Sandy.
The photos of the dog were so cute.
It was like a little family.
Gay couple. It was really cute.
Yeah, this is really where it's kind of like, you two are together. Are you actually with your best friend?
This is where my butchness comes into it, and it works. To be honest.
I said that to Mon. I was like, that we look like a family with Sandy sitting in my lap and me looking at you.
I know. I was like, a lot of the photos I was kind of like, if we were dating, this would work out.
Yeah, it would work out 100%.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
Good looking couple, I wouldn't lie, but
it's that weird mixture of us being like, do we look like a couple or do we look like twins?
Yeah, it's weird.
Because
there's no in between.
No.
There isn't.
No.
And now that they've been edited, it looks more like we're
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, all related. Yeah.
They're a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now we'll get more people being like, so you're actually twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Yeah, cool. We'll take it. It's fine.
So whatever. But they look amazing, so we're going to start to post them. You would have seen on our Instagram that our new logo will be obviously stuck on there, which is good, and then we'll start to play with how we're actually going to change it up. Yeah, so it's kind of like not a rebranding as such, but just kind of a new look. Same name, just new content. Yeah,
which is really exciting. That everything looks really good. So thanks, girls, for
it was actually incredible.
Really fun.
We kind of just went into it just being like, let's just do it for fun. Let's do it for if we get a good photo out of it, it's sick. But yeah, we had a lot of fun, which was really good. The girls were really lovely. I'd only met them then, so that was so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it'll kind of give you an insight as to like how we are, and obviously everything that we did and all the outfits were kind of inspired by our friendship anyway, so it does give you a good insight to that. But yeah, we decided we kind of wanted a bit of a change because it's nearly been a year since we started.
Yeah, so fifth season, which is today. So fifth season, but almost a year. So we thought that we would freshen it up a little bit, which was very much needed. I was saying to Mom the other day that it's so funny when someone starts out something. Yeah. So like when you start something fresh, it's kind of like basic as fuck.
100%.
Like it's like you're just starting, you're testing the waters, and then so you look at our first video, our first logo, our first everything, to now with our new look and stuff, it actually just amazes me how far we've come since then as well. Like
Like, and I mean, the funny thing is, like, we've had all of this access available to us, even at the start. We just never really looked into it the way we did. Like,
yeah.
Again, we started it kind of just being like, let's just do it for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
Weird, pun intended.
Yeah.
And we were kind of just like, yeah, let's just have fun with it. And obviously it's lasted for nearly a year. And yeah, the traction that it still gets is actually
crazy. Yeah. Because normally sometimes if like, obviously we have our weeks where we're not producing the best content, like we kind of like just obviously just talk shit because we've got nothing to talk about.
If you had the same thing, you'd be like, what the
fuck are you going to talk about this week? Yeah, so we definitely have our moments, but the fact that we're getting so much traction still is amazing.
I also find it so funny now as well because like we don't see each other barely as much as we used to. How do we ever have anything to talk about?
I know.
We saw each other nearly every day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it all happens, hey?
But yeah, obviously there's so much new things in our life. We're quite different versions of ourselves now.
Oh my gosh.
And like looking back, and obviously I said to B, I listened to our car episode, which is definitely our favourite, I think we both kind of said.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, like listening to how we speak, listening to what was going on in our lives.
Gosh.
It was funny. It's only been the space of a year.
Yeah.
And
like not even
so
a
much
year.
has changed.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Obviously, when it does hit a year, we'll do a whole year special kind of thing.
We'll do a special one.
For sure. That comes in June. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
We're already at May, which is crazy.
Gross.
But yeah, this episode we're kind of going to do a few different topics. We're going to talk about the differences in the people we are now. We're going to do a little bit of the same stuff as we did in the car episode, but based on our lives now.
Yeah. Should we start off with that?
If you want to,
yeah,
for sure.
While we're talking about it.
Yeah,
let's kick it off.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, we'll start off with when I went back home. I got asked some pretty funny questions that I just wouldn't have thought of, and like it's really funny because now we can kind of talk about it because we haven't. And it's like I guess it's kind of the question. It's like if a year ago I sat you down on this couch and I was like, B, you're gonna meet a guy who's older than you. He's in the fitness industry. You know, he's British, and he's just gonna completely just change your life.
Yeah.
What would you have said to me?
I probably would have laughed, to be honest. Like we were sort of discussing this before we started recording, and it's just funny how like depending on when you would have sat me down and asked me that. Because in what was it? July? It was July last year. If you would have sat me down with my meltdown and said, don't stress, you're going to meet this lovely person. Fuck you, what the fuck are you talking about?
Taking the piss.
Yeah.
I don't believe it either, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I literally would have just been like, nah, fuck yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
100%.
There's no way it's happening.
No.
X, Y, Z.
Real men don't exist.
yeah, literally what we have.
Oh, mate. That's what I mean.
Didn't think that we were going to get that back then.
Everything, go back and be like, no. That's not.
Yeah.
Like,
but even the questions that we were asking each other in the car ride, it's kind of just like, you look back at them and you're like, it's probably a little bit different.
Way different.
Yeah.
Like, so different. And it's just like, it's more like we wouldn't even have these conversations now.
No.
It's just, we're very different in the sense of what we do, our actions, the way we think. But yeah, I think it's just insane. Like, I was actually talking to my partner about it, and he was just like, honestly, even just in general, could you have ever seen yourself with like the type of person he is?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. It's so funny because you look at the people that you think you deserve.
Yeah.
And like that you know that you deserve. Like 100%. The people that we're with, we 100% deserve
100%.
them. But you don't, at that time, you don't think that they're out there.
No. God, no.
Like the fuckwit that I was seeing.
Oh, God.
Put a bloody bad taste in my mouth.
Absolute spanner in the works.
Of men in general.
Sure.
And then the one after that did the exact same thing.
Yeah, you didn't have a good track.
I didn't have a good
Honestly, I think I was going through a stage where I was like, I don't think I'm ever not going to get nicked with someone. They're all going to piss me off.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to find love again.
Yeah.
I hate them all.
Yeah, literally.
I can't stand to be with someone.
Got to that stage. And then you find someone randomly too. Like
So
we were both
random.
at the point where we're just like, fuck you all.
100%.
I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
And then they just, hi.
The natural aspect of it really baffles me. I think about it now and I'm like, back then we were on dating apps, we were out every weekend.
Oh, I couldn't even think worse than
Oh,
dating
bro,
apps right
honestly.
now.
And I'm like, all right, cool, this is how I'm going to meet someone. So
Yeah.
this is life now. This is our generation. I'm going to meet someone on Tinder. Date them for a couple of years. Cool, whatever.
Fuck
Heartbroken. They're going to do whatever to me. Amazing. Just a cycle. But then, like, it's really crazy to think that we met the people we have now so naturally.
Yeah, like you make those through mutuals
Yeah, I've been mutual friends with for a
for a
while.
while. And then I met mine at the gym, of all places as well.
Again, weird switch.
Yeah, you should have think
been me.
that I would have met mine through
Yeah.
mutuals and you would have met yours at the gym.
Legit.
But complete opposite.
We've just
For,
switched it.
for someone who doesn't really have that big of a gym appetite,
Yeah.
like I don't go to the gym as much as Riz does.
No.
So for me to meet mine at the gym is just,
That's what I mean. And then to think that,
So
like,
funny.
I've been in Sydney for nearly 3 years, to have friends of friends that live here, again, it should have switched for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just like baffled.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously last year I was so against, not to be rude, I was against British people because I had a really shit experience. with
yeah,
one.
yeah.
He was an absolute fucking twat.
Asshole. We don't talk about him anymore.
Literally,
He is the
bring it
C
up.
word.
And it was his accent as well. Like, I used to think that was attractive, and that's
Yeah.
a Liverpool accent. I now have a very nice London, Surrey accent, and I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, what was wrong with me?
You tend to attract them, don't you?
Oh, my god. Honestly. But now I look at it and I'm like, I can't be with an Aussie.
Yeah, you Aussie males.
Disgusting.
Fucking hell.
I look at them and it's so funny because, like, my partner now has such lovely fashion, has such nice things that he does for himself. Like,
Okay, we just need to get him in them Uggs.
yeah, we're gonna try and get him those. But you know,
If you're around.
he wants Uggs, but he wants the silver kind. I know we're getting there. So
As
his
a
birthday's coming
start.
up. Anyways, and that's what's so funny. The funny thing is, he'll talk in an Aussie accent and piss me off, and I'm like, don't dare stop talking.
Yeah.
I will get a nick from you if
Yeah.
you turn Aussie.
Yeah, fair.
I look at Aussies and the way they dress, and I'm like,
Yeah. There's a
I'm
see.
changed.
I don't think I know an Aussie that can dress
no,
well.
without shorts and like an active wear shirt. That's all it is.
Because like the previous people that I've seen
Yeah.
that have been a different nationality, so like Filipino.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of anyone else who has really good fashion sense. It's a different nationality.
yeah,
But both like my ex-boyfriend,
yeah.
he had good fashion sense.
Of course.
The guy that I was seeing for a while, he was Filipino. He's got good fashion sense.
Correct. And that's
So-
for me. That's where you're like, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. These Aussies and you're like, you're walking around in like an NBA singlet. Like, stop! You don't even watch it! You don't care if you follow the brand. And this is what I mean, like, it's so funny. Like, I'll go back home and my parents are literally like, you sound English. And I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, like, my partner plays football, and they're like, oh my god, he plays AFL. I'm like, no, like, oh, rugby?
Soccer.
And I'm like, no, it's soccer. And they're like, that's disgusting.
But like,
I agree.
yeah, like we spoke about before, you're around a lot of them,
I am.
so it makes sense on why you
Yeah.
either would have an accent or talk like them and
100%.
all that sort of stuff.
So the
So
things I say now, I've been saying English slang,
yeah,
and I say it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's disgusting.
what am I
What the
doing?
fuck have I just said?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I would, if a year ago me could see me now, she'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Same. I would laugh.
Same. I'd be like, you're with
What the
bitch.
fuck are you doing?
Yeah, legit.
Like, get off it.
Legit. Mine would be like, get off the cab on a Saturday night and get the fuck out.
Yeah, literally, it would be the exact same.
100%.
Exact same. Like, bitch, why are you guys at home?
Legit.
You
This
don't
is
need him.
I know.
Go out and
Why
get
have one when you
trash.
can have 10?
Literally, you don't need just the one. But all jokes aside, if you feel like you're in that rut of being
Yeah.
single, like obviously we base this this podcast around us being single because that's obviously when we started.
That's what we did.
So
for sure.
we were very much like, this is what's happening while we're both single because we were both single at the same time, but now we're both in relationships.
Yeah.
And now we can kind of go into that sort of sector for you guys. So like, if you are in that single rut where you're kind of just like, I'm fucking over the opposite sex, or
100%.
I'm over dating, or
100%.
you know, I don't think that I'm gonna find someone.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah. Oh God. Will.
Like it'll come when
nowhere.
you least expect it as well, because that's how our two came. Like even yours started. It was just like, oh yeah, I'll go on a date with them, but that was about
Oh
it.
shit! I was like one night stand.
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
Whatever.
And now look at you, dude.
Now I'm like, oh my God. I travel to the east every fucking day of my life.
Every week.
Hated the east.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like that.
It's insane.
Bye.
Like, you'll go back and listen to our podcast and you'll hear me be like, British guys, ill, what's wrong with them?
Ick.
East, if you live in Bondi, you've got problems.
Oh,
like,
we said that, didn't we?
That's what I'm saying.
All of them live in fucking Bondi.
Correct. Who
Yeah.
the fuck travels? Like, I was bagging you for going out to like,
For my big
to
travel
go to,
hours.
like, what, Liverpool, and now
Yeah.
I'm literally like,
You
paying
do it
tolls
every
I'm
week.
East. People know me in the East
Yeah.
now, and I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what the fuck's wrong?
It's
with me?
nice though. You kind of see what you have.
Yeah.
And very grateful for both of us of what we
100%.
both have, because you definitely do deserve it.
100%, yeah. And it's something that you have to get used to though.
Like obviously we weren't used to being treated the way that we are.
Obviously, you listen to the past, what, 10 episodes?
Yeah.
You hear us be like, I don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
We used to pick on not used to. We pick on everything now
100%.
when they do something nice for us
Still.
and they say something nice,
Yeah.
or they just fucking communicate like a normal human being, and
Yeah.
we're like, what? That's not
Legit.
No, let's pick a fight.
Yeah.
Let's pick a fucking fight.
Totally.
Let's have a cry.
What's wrong with you? Let me throw a tantrum.
Yeah, let me be a bitch.
Don't just walk off.
Yeah. You're being sensible and you're communicating to me.
Quit it.
Just get angry. Throw a few words or something. So, yeah, in comparison to what we went through,
Oh, for sure.
very, very different.
Yeah. And it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
Everything
100%.
is great. Like, yeah, so I think it's good that we can now address, like, our podcast is always going to be here for sure. Like, it's a big part of our friendship, it's a big part of the time we spend together.
Yeah.
And it's obviously going to take a bit of a turn from us being toxic. For sure, you'll hear some stories, everything like that. But we'll keep it toxic in the way that we try and have the topics toxic. Because that's what we enjoy. It's fun.
Yeah.
To get around it.
Yeah, keeps it interesting.
But I think it's also going to start to turn into something that's like, we can also start to now give advice on having those single life experiences, having those like that year by yourself with your best friend. Like, and I think that's where we're going to start to really focus in on is like, I think like, someone asked me the other day and they were like, if you guys stop the podcast, which we're not going to, it's not a hint.
Don't stress, it's fine. We have a week off, but we're not stopping it.
They were like, if you had a reflection, what would you be so grateful for that you, like, that you had this podcast? Like, what makes you grateful? And I was just like, honestly, I think it's the fact that like, we now can look back and be like, holy shit, this is what we used to do. This is how we used to speak.
It's crazy.
Correct.
It's gross.
And you see us transform every week. And when you look at day to day, week to week, you're like, nothing changes.
Yeah.
But you can look at us now over 12 months and be like, this is completely different people.
Yeah, completely different people. Like, even a couple of episodes back, I look at
100%.
and I'm like, it wouldn't even be 6 months, it would be like even 3. I look at we look like such babies.
Legit.
So in comparison to now to a year ago,
Ridiculous.
it's so cringy. I was watching our bloopers from our first season, and they were so good. They were so funny. But I was watching them and I was like, in that jumper, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you dumb bitch?
What are you doing?
Why are you wearing that?
Insane.
But like,
legit.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like we say, like week by week, nothing really changes. But when you look at it in such a longer time,
scale,
it's crazy how quickly people can change.
Correct, and that's what I mean. Like, and I think that hopefully our day oneers, our loyal supporters, whatever the fuck they're called,
our OGs,
subscribers, correct, everything like that, see that there's a change and it's literally becoming like the better version of ourselves, and that's where like we hope that our journey and like everything that we've kind of shown from day dot shows you that there's so much progress in finding yourself in your 20s, finding your circle, finding the people around you, finding someone that you can be with. Is a long process. And it's honestly so good when you have your best friend, when you have those people around you. And so like take anything from it, and obviously we're gonna keep going, but like there's so much that you can see that we absolutely hated men. Like what, 2, 3, not 2 4 months ago, 5 months ago, we were full just like men are trash. There's no good ones out there.
Which I'm going to say, the majority of you men are still trash.
I'm
not going to say that we've taken that back,
but
but just the ones that we've happened to like snatch up, they're the good ones.
Right.
So which just shows that there are good ones out there. But like we have been that big sisterly advice,
100%.
but we're just going to be more of that big sister. Now that we've gone through both of them. So
that's what I mean. Like, it's kind of just like, talk to us about certain things, listen to us and listen to the growth that we've had. And I think the biggest thing to take from it is that it is so important to be single for a certain amount of time.
And it's so important to spend time on yourself.
100%.
Like, a lot of people go through their single phase and they just rely on a lot of things, which we did at the beginning.
For sure.
We relied on the comfort of males, relied on a lot of things. But it's so important to just spend time by yourself.
It's the reason that now we can be so comfortable in what we have, be so, grateful, because we now see that we were treated terribly. We were able to also see our worth by also being like, no, fuck you, I'm not dealing with your shit. Like, I can get rid of you whenever I want. I know my value, I know my worth. But then when someone comes and actually solidifies that and proves to you that, like, someone else is actually going to give you the same amount of love that you give to others, it is so rewarding.
It's so hard when you give so much
100%.
and you get nothing in return. That's like that with everyday life. Like,
100%.
You're giving a lot to your job, but your job's not giving it back. Or you're giving so much to someone and they're not giving it back. So it's nice to finally have that in return. So, the growth is very, very good to see.
Exactly.
Although we're still kind of complaining about how we look.
100%.
Which I'm going to say right now, I look like fucking trash.
No, she doesn't.
I've got no nails.
My god, I didn't even see that!
I ripped my nails off yesterday.
Did you hide that from me?
No. Ripped my nails off yesterday. I've got no tan. My hair's disgusting. My eyelashes are falling out.
Eyelashes don't look bad.
I'm in my work gear, so soz to the YouTube watchers. If you see the same outfit, it's because I've come from work. It's a bit chilly in Sydney as well.
My house is cold now.
But
look, guys.
Self-worth and growth.
It's huge.
Is the main thing of this topic.
Again, I think recently we've also been able to see that everyone's going to have some really down times. We're obviously super happy in what we have. And we have a lot, and we're so grateful for it. But it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to be sad, not allowed to be in these moments that are like, I feel shit.
You're so allowed them.
100%.
There's nothing wrong with having bad days. And I think that's a massive thing that is, especially at the moment, it's just a shit time for everyone at the moment, and everyone's allowed to have bad days. Like, I said that to Mum. I was like, Mum, just cry.
100%.
Like, you're allowed to just cry because you're stressed and everything's going on. Just have a bad day. Everyone has bad days. Just don't make it a bad life.
Correct. Bad day doesn't mean a bad life, but it also means that you are allowed to just sit in what you want to sit in. Like, if you're sad, sit in it. Talk about it. Like, again, a big part of our podcast and a big part of our growth is because we actually get to speak about it. We speak to each other. We also get to speak to you. To also be like, open up. Like, it's so important. And it's gonna be so funny because I'm gonna say all this now, and my partner's gonna be like, "You're a hypocrite." Correct.
That I am.
You were right.
Just with you.
But it's so true. Like, I'm told constantly, especially by him, like, just go easy on yourself. Especially girls, you have your periods every fucking month. We go through so much fucking emotion, on top of the stresses of paying so much more money on everything now because inflation is a bitch.
So bad.
And everything like that. If you've got loans, if you've got student loans, you know that it's a fucking tough time. So stress is a big part of it, and allow yourself to be stressed. Don't stay in it. speak to someone, because stress is relieved when you get it out, for sure.
Yeah.
And just help yourself in the sense that, like, find things that you can control and fix them first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest thing. And just don't push people away. Probably the first thing to say as well.
You need your support group and your support system, and that's 9 out of 10 times that's your family and friends.
Correct.
So don't push them away.
So yeah, big thing, like, everyone's gonna have some shit times, especially right now. Winter makes things sad, let's be real. It's a fucking depressing time.
Yeah.
It's cloudy. It's cold.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone just wants to sleep.
Yeah, you want to
You guys want to stay in bed.
But you have to work because everything's expensive.
It's just a shit time.
It goes around the circles.
It's a shit time.
But find people that make it bearable. We're obviously here. We can make it bearable. Go to your lash lady. Someone
have enough. That's that. If you need sleep. Or some people can. Like I was about to say.
Getting there.
Some. Oh, have you?
I start twitching though.
Same.
And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put mine out.
I say to my lash all the time, I'm like, I'm sorry if I started to snore. She's like, no, you were sleeping, it was fine, I didn't even pay attention. And I have my own little twitches as well.
I feel like I wake myself up when I do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I moved.
My problem is when I wake myself up when I do that, every time I wake up I need to pee.
Oh bro, honestly, the other day when I get one refilled, it was on Wednesday. And I literally nearly died. I was still gonna like take my AirPod out and be like, "Can you hurry up?" Because I'm busting.
Yeah.
Like, you know when they check it like the last little bit.
Little bit.
You've been over it 4 times. Like, there's no more.
I felt that you touched that like 3 times. I don't think it needs any more.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, just get the fan and let's go.
Oh, it's so much worse because you're thinking about it too. You're like,
I know, and you know it's the end. You know she's nearly done.
And it's so much slower.
And you're like, just fucking give me the fan.
Yeah.
Legit.
Like, that was a little bit off topic. Well,
sorry guys. No editing. Anyways, we're gonna leave the other stuff for another episode because we're nearly halfway through.
Yeah.
So you're gonna come on to your next one. So
okay.
We can really address this new one.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited to talk about.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a strange one. Oddly enough, I found it on Facebook. So it was just like a bit of a meme on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I need to find it. Hang on, I had it up and I lost it. Okay. So this is just to get an opinion or Rissa's outlook on couples moving in after a certain amount of time. So obviously the thread was moving in together after just a year of dating is insane and a bad idea.
Wow, okay. So what are the comments?
So I actually, surprisingly, a lot of the comments are like, this is stupid. What you've said is stupid. Dumb post, each to their own.
Fair.
Which is completely fair. I
should always be
in like in personal experience. I mean, I lived like my ex-boyfriend moved in after I think a year, and he ended up staying with me for 4 years.
Yeah.
But then we ended up breaking up after 6. So like that's a decent chunk.
Yeah.
I look back at it now and being like, okay, it definitely probably would have saved our relationship if he didn't moved in.
Yeah, for sure.
But then in saying that, if my partner now was to be like, let's move in together after a year, I think it would be doable.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see what your thoughts were about this, because I know that you enjoy your space. You like being on your own. You're very independent. Like obviously you've got a roommate, so someone else coming into your space.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
I mean, it's hard, and it really depends on situations. I'd say if it's sometimes people have to move in together. Like sometimes it's
that was our situation.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes it's like someone doesn't have anywhere to live. Someone needs to either can't afford it, or someone with a family. Like there are definitely situations where it's needed, and it might actually do both of you some good. Like COVID, 100% helped a lot of people. Didn't help a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like if everything's normal, I've obviously done it. I think 4 months after being together, I moved in with one of my previous exes. And nothing went terrible, but I think it just really speeds things up. So if there are problems, they're gonna really become big things.
Yeah.
If you don't communicate properly, again, big things, because you're in each other's space. If you're not people that can do your own thing, like go out and be like, cool, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go do this, you're gonna go do this, you're gonna live your life. If you're not balancing your life properly, then there's problems.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Even when you're not living together, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it just really increases people's reliance on it.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, fair, if that's where you're at, cool, go for it. But now where I am in my life, in the sense of I've lived on my own, I've lived with a partner, I've lived with friends. I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, look, I don't like how far away I live from my partner now. It's really annoying. But it's also like, there's not an incentive even anytime soon to just be like, yeah, cool, move in. Yeah. It's something that, because I've been so tested in what I have now, I'm kind of like, no, like, I love my space, I love what I have in my own life. And I've always said, the next thing I get into is going to be my life, his life, bring one together as well, but always have separate. So I think it's really important to build that first. And when you're ready, then sure, but for me right now, I don't think that's going to be for a long time. And he would be the exact same.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you are living with a partner, especially, like you said, it just depends on the circumstance, depends on what's happening, but having your own space is very important.
Huge.
Especially if both of you work from home.
Yeah.
As well. You need to be able to find that balance. Like, of course, you guys are going to get on each other's nerves, but you need to find that balance of like having your own friends, doing your own thing.
For sure.
Because obviously you're in each other's space all the time. But yeah, I was very surprised. A lot of the comments were like, I moved in with my partner after only dating him for a month. We're still going strong 9 years later. Time has nothing to do with it. If you're comfortable and confident enough with someone, it doesn't really matter.
For sure. You both want it.
Moved in together after only 3 months of dating. This fall will be 5 years and 3 years of marriage. It's very surprising. A lot of people, a long distance relationship as well. Like, obviously, if you're doing long distance, if someone's here in Australia and your partner's in the UK or something, that's obviously very straining. So depending on that circumstance, a lot of people move in a lot quicker than
someone moving usually means like moving countries, moving states. It's usually easier to move in with someone.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a year
is a decent amount of time.
It's a decent amount of time for you to know someone. To an extent.
Yeah, for sure.
You should, especially if it's your partner and you've obviously with them all the time. Yeah. So you should know, I'd like to think that you have stayed at your partner's place so you know how they live. Surely, but some people don't, I guess. So I feel like, a year, again, depending on the person.
Yeah, and the situation. For sure.
And like, I feel like if you know, you know.
Oh, of course. That's how it works.
But yeah, I thought that was a bit of an interesting topic to talk about because
it's a different one in the sense of like, I think I'm also on the stage that's like, I enjoy being apart in the sense that like it means that you kind of miss them and you want to be around them.
Yeah.
A lot more, and the quality time is always better.
Yes.
I find.
Yeah.
Like when you're apart and you're just like, cool, talk to you all the time, blah blah blah. But it's like when you see them, it's just so much better.
So much better.
It's just like.
It's like that break. See, I would be very different to your situation. Like, obviously, you see him, 3 days in a row, and then you have the rest of the week off. Yeah. Whereas I'm very much like, I'm fucking needy. Yeah. And if I was to do that, which, again, it's like 4 days. 4 days off, 3 days on. Yeah. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But in my situation, I pretty much am the weekends, midweek. Yeah. And then that's about it. So, like, I have that little bit in the middle for myself. So I feel like that suits me very well. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely move in after a year if I knew the person was the right person.
Yeah, I mean it just depends on your circumstance, I guess. Like, I mean, again, where I'm at now in my life, it would really be like it would just really depend on the situation, I'd say. Yeah. Like, I think minimum, maybe a year. Yeah. Again, not something I think about because it's kind of like, no matter what happens, if you live in the same state, same vicinity, it's not that much of a difference. I feel like it's just a really big step that it means that things start to really progress in where you're going. So it's fair. Yeah. And I feel like I'm not being judgmental, at all. Do what you want to do. In my opinion, I think that it takes you a decent amount of time to know someone. As much as you can spend every second with them, cool, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it does take a certain amount of time to fully get to know someone. Obviously, like the first 2-3 months you're in your honeymoon phase, everyone's perfect, whatever, you never have arguments. I feel like if you move in around those times, again, you might actually just be two perfectly combined humans. I don't know, I don't care. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, from what I've experienced, it's just like you don't see the full extent of someone, even after 6 months. Like,
yeah. There's always new things that arise,
100%.
especially in the first 6 months.
Correct.
Your first 6 months is your honeymoon phase where you've got those rose-coloured
legit
goes on where you just am so happy you're in this love bubble, and then normally it kind of starts to happen after there.
Exactly.
In relationships, it's about the 3-year mark where people kind of get that little bit of a staggered point, like it's a bit of it. You start like being like, oh, what can we do to keep this relationship like spicy and alive and like all of that sort of stuff. So you have to kind of find that happy medium, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's where I'm kind of like, does that mean it starts to speed up when you live together? You kind of lose I feel like I had a massive conversation with my partner the other day about how he brought up to me and he was like, I don't understand the point when people are kind of like, you know, when you live together or like when you stay over at your partner's house, where it's kind of like, what's the word? It's expected that when you go to bed you have sex. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the time, when you think about it, you kind of like...
That's what the bedroom's for, majority of the time, apart from...
And he kind of brought that to my attention. He's kind of like, I don't respect that aspect of it, and that's not how I would look at it. It's kind of like, obviously...
God, he's an angel, for fuck's sake.
He's such a little muffin.
What the fuck?
It was because I think I was sick or something. I was really tired, and I was in this headspace where I was like, I'm so sorry, like, I really want to, I'm tired, like, and he was like, don't be silly, like, he had a joke, and he was like, you look like shit, I don't really want to touch you. I was like,
I gotta take back the comment I just said.
He was like, trying to make me feel better, it sounds funny. And I was like laughing about it, and I was like, great, thank you so much. And he's like, no, like, I'm kidding, but like, seriously, it should never be expected when you get into bed, when two people get into bed. And I think that's where it starts to become such a chore for people, because they're like, oh fuck, I need to sleep. Fuck, he expects me to sleep with him now. Or he's like, oh cool, I'm gonna get sex, let's go to bed. And a lot of the time, it's the female that gets bored, not bored, but like, she's exhausted, she's like, I'm fuck doing this. To be fair, we don't do anything, I agree.
Yeah.
But we're the ones that are like, I'm tired.
Normally.
And we just get complacent. You know? And I feel like that's where if you live together and you lose that part of it, or people still expect that, you're both kind of like, no, I just want to go to bed. And that's where I find so many people these days, I'm like, I'm a fool for the whole thing, like, I'm going to marry my best friend, like, for sure, the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with is going to be my absolute best friend, like, I spend every day with them, to obviously a degree, and they're the person that I want to know everything, like, whereas I find that I think if you speed things up too quickly, again in my opinion, you kind of lose the spark, you lose the romantic part of it, you lose the spontaneity of it, and you gain your best friend probably so much earlier, which is amazing, great. But then a lot of people I know break up because they just stayed best friends. They looked at them as just a friend.
Just a mate,
It's like, you're sitting on the couch, you're on one end, he's on the other, and you're like, cool, let's watch TV, you know, not really caring what's going on, phones come out. You're so complacent in it, which I'm like, some people enjoy that for sure. 100%.
If that's what you love, then
and I agree. Relationship will take a turn point where it's like, you need to want to love someone. 100%. But I think there are things that if you do early on that may jeopardize it, is something that you need to think about. And if you're that type of person that really clings to someone and gets bored, I think it's something that you want to be like, all right, let's prolong it, let's really work at it.
Well, you're right.
No, just dying.
No, I agree. I think when people rush into stuff like that, I think especially after, like we were saying, like a couple of months, like I feel like the people that are like, oh yes, like it's so nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, would have done that. I would have been like, oh my god. And we spoke about that obviously in our car episode.
Oh my
like,
god, I was just gonna address this video. I was like, bro, that said you'd marry him after.
I'd be that dumb bitch that would marry someone after a month. But in saying that, like I said, like my current partner, like I think the world of him.
Yeah,
so like I would 100% do that.
Oh my god.
But I'm not. I know better than that. I'm not gonna just be like, come on, left hand ring, let's go.
Jesus.
But you know, it does. It rushes things, and it can. Look, it can definitely be good for some people.
Yeah.
And some people thrive in that, and some people have the best relationships
because
of it. But then other times, like you said, it can definitely jeopardize it. I think if the main thing about that whole situation is that if you've got someone and yourself who you're very open with communication,
100%.
and you guys are very vocal about how you feel, and you're aware of if something is going south, then you fix it.
Correct.
Because a lot of people just move in and they're like I said, sit on one end of the couch, other person on the other end of the couch, and they're both aware of what's going on, but they don't do anything about it.
100%.
That's where the fault is.
Yeah, correct. And I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, when we were asking like those really those questions about relationships, and it was like big controversial topics.
Yeah.
And obviously one was like, is being in love or having a loving relationship the same as having comfort?
Yeah.
And we were both like, no,
it's
like
not.
they're two different things. And I think that's what's important. Like you need to be comfortable with someone for sure. And that grows with, you know, trust, it grows with time, it grows with like just being open in general.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're both giving the same amount of effort.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you hit that comfort level, and if you haven't even worked on a foundation, and you haven't learnt how you love someone, how they love you, everything like that.
Yeah. Or how they just function.
Anything. Yeah.
In everyday life.
It's just like you're gonna get to comfort real quickly, which is great. Like if you want to just be comfortable, whatever. People get comfortable and then they're like, that's why people don't leave.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of relationships are so long.
Yeah. Because you're like, oh, yeah, cool, I'm not going to ever be alone, but I'm never going to be genuinely happy.
Yeah, or I'm never going to end up finding someone else who can do me better.
Correct. Because in those mindsets, as you saw, a year ago, we were all like, no, I'm never going to find someone.
100%.
They all suck.
Yeah.
So we get it, but it's also like, there are things that you, like steps that you could take in knowing yourself and knowing the other person, being like, cool, I wouldn't, being me, who I am now, I'm like, and what I've learned from like the person I'm with and the people around me, I'm like, the biggest thing for me is like, if something is important to you, if something is like literally going to be the best thing for you, and that's what they've shown, like no amount of time can change that. Like obviously a big thing for me is learning that. Yeah. Is that time isn't a thing. Like if it means the rest of your life, then what's a couple of months? What's a year? What's a couple of years? Like,
yeah.
If it means that it's going to be a good things take time.
Yeah.
If you want to rush it and you're really excited and you really love someone, whatever, do what you want to do, 100%. I know a lot of people that get married and have kids really early, and they're so happy.
Yeah. Definitely.
If you find the same person that wants to do that, cool.
Yeah.
You thrive. Yeah. But if you're on opposing ends of that spectrum, it's just going to speed you up to a massive roadblock.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it?
It's a tricky one. It's just, it's all about the people.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely about people. Just be sensible about it.
For sure.
I personally don't think a year is too soon.
No,
I think a year is a decent amount of time, especially when you have grown up. Like, a year ago,
oh God.
If you asked me would I live with a partner a year ago, I would have said no.
No.
So
wouldn't even like to go anywhere.
Exactly. So just look at yourself and be like, am I mature enough and am I sensible enough to think that this is a good idea?
Yeah.
And think about who you're living with.
Yeah, because God, they're annoying.
Yeah, because having someone in your face all the time, especially if they're not clean.
For me, like you need to know the habits of this.
You definitely need to know the habits, and that is like, one thing. Yeah. I don't know who I was talking to the other day, and they were like, "Oh, would you live with a bunch of people?" And I was like, I initially was like, yeah, like I'd love to have a big house, like a house group.
Do, yeah.
Like that'd be fucking sick. But then I'd be like, no, because I can't be asked cleaning up after anyone else but myself.
Correct.
And if I love my partner enough, I'll clean up after you. That's not an issue. But living with people for them to just be so careless, I could not do it.
Everyone's just so different.
Yeah, so
and you
different.
find that out. Like I've lived with a fair few different people, and everyone I've lived with is very different. And like you're always going to get that. No one's really going to be the exact same as you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You need to accept it because you aren't the same people. And it's the same with partners. Like it's a lot harder with partners because you're in each other's space more. Obviously, when you live with like a friend or you live with just a roommate, they're doing their own life. It's really separate.
Yeah.
Whereas a partner's like, all right, cool, we're gonna have this for dinner. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and it's just like if you can't even agree that the bedroom has to look like this and this has to be clean this amount of time, and mate, you're gonna have massive clashes.
You're gonna have massive issues. Massive issues.
That's what I mean. Like, what if you want to like it and they don't?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to compromise.
Correct. What if you want silk sheets and they don't?
That's like the minor details.
Yeah.
It's so minor.
Minor means
so
a lot.
minor. No, it does. It's the little things.
It does.
It's
like,
the
what if
little
you
things.
can't sleep with a fan?
Yeah.
And they can. Like, it's also the thing that's like, find out if they're a snorer before you commit to moving in. Find out if they're a snorer when they're drunk.
Yeah. But then also, yeah. I can't really say much about that, to be honest.
Are you a snorer?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But he can sometimes, and
Oh my
I used to
God,
fucking hate it.
No.
But now I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
No.
If it's the person that you love, you're not gonna be like, oh god, I can't fucking stand it. I need to go sleep out in the lounge room because I'm okay with it.
I wouldn't get love for him. I'd be like, no, I can't love you. See ya.
So I didn't know until like the first couple of times because he was okay. He was quiet the first couple of times I stayed over, and then it happened and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, you're lucky I like you.
Yeah, no.
You're lucky I fucking like you because I think I'll
so
be alright.
funny. Like, there's so many things that like you obviously get to know. And, like, you get to that stage where you get so comfortable, you're literally like obviously gassy with the other person. Like, why the fuck am I on this stage?
You'll be shitting with the toilet door open. And
it's just
that's when comfort sets in. That's when comfort really sets in.
That's what we were saying to each other the other day. We're like, I would so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong.
But that's good though.
He was plucking my eyebrows the other day.
Wow.
What the fuck is happening right now? It was so funny. Like, you're a girlfriend, honestly.
Yeah, literally.
It's funny. But yeah, there's so many things that like you just gotta take into account, but you just don't know what's gonna happen. They might kick you. Like I've actually been whacked.
Yeah.
Because he like twitches.
Oh.
Extremely though.
Yeah. Nah, so that would piss me off.
But I only found it out recently and I was like, I think I'm a bit far.
I think I'm a bit far into now. I
thought about it.
I thought about
what
it.
What are the pros and cons?
Do the pros outweigh the cons? I don't know that. No, they probably do.
If I move slightly, because he's got a massive king, so I'm gonna move over here.
King.
It's huge. I can't sleep in my own bed right now because it's sad.
Fuck off. I love a king.
But
I've got queen, but I love a fucking king.
at the start, we were both kind of like, yeah, like this is awesome. Like you're over there, I'm
over here. Yeah.
But now it's so funny. If you watch me sleep now, you'd be like, "Where's what's wrong with you?" Like I sleep intertwined with him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cold. It's cold.
You're gonna actually find this so funny. The other day, we made a bet about something and I lost. And do you wanna know what? I was so confident in the bet, even though I lost. I made a bet. I'm gonna put this on record. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. Carissa made a bet with my partner, and I was like, if I lose, you can suck my toes.
Oh my god! No, and you lost.
Okay, I lost. It hasn't happened yet.
I was about to say. Did you
I will
like it?
Oh,
Could you?
I'm
have
trying
to tell
so
me.
much. I will have to. I'll tell you all.
You have to
Sure.
tell me what
I'm
happens.
open. But I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm just. And the funniest part is, as soon as I've said this now, Erin's gonna message me. And she's like, I heard you. Didn't happen.
Oh no.
I don't know why I did it. I'm really comfortable with him. Like, he massages my feet. I don't like it. I still get really weird about it. And he's still like, yeah, this is something I shouldn't open up about. I know! And like, yeah.
The things that the male species does
The things that
to a female changes.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
I know. So I'm really gonna hope that he doesn't listen to this one and forgets about it. Because I'm not going to bring it back up.
Yeah, fair.
But I did offer it, and that's a huge step for me. Not gonna lie.
I was going to say, if there's any new listeners or any new watchers, Riz hates feet. Hates feet. You can't even like.
I hate them so much.
Knock her. When we stayed together, I was on one side of the bed.
I didn't even say anything at this point. I did not even tell her like wear socks. Like, I was like, it's fine. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, and I slept in a ball all night because I was like, I cannot touch this bitch with my feet because she's gonna kill me.
I hate them. Like I hate my own. I hate other people's. Like it's still that degree.
Yeah.
But I'm so comfortable
But
with
he
this
still,
person.
you let him massage your feet.
Not okay. It's because he says I need to put moisture in my feet and I don't like it. But he's like, let me wash your feet. So he touches them and I'm
Yeah,
not.
but that in itself,
know.
you're letting someone else touch your feet.
I know, and he brags about it.
I bet he does.
And it's really weird because I'm okay with like having his feet on me and I'm like, something's wrong. I know. Don't. We're not here to judge.
We don't know who she is anymore.
Completely different person.
Completely.
But everyone else's
different.
feet, fuck off.
Yeah,
We're not going to
no
anywhere.
one else's feet, don't touch it.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm actually gonna let him do it. I've said it, and
We'll change the bed.
I vomit, and every time I think about it. But I'm hoping it just gives him an ick, and then we can just part, just go our separate ways.
Oh, fuck off. He's gonna enjoy it too much. He just doesn't like it, and I've got the pleasure
It's
of
really
doing
gross
it.
to the fact that he probably will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which I'm like.
And you know what? You're gonna end up enjoying it.
Ew, no, I'm
and then it's
not.
gonna be a normal
No,
thing.
No.
That's disgusting.
No.
I wouldn't. Oh. Ooh.
No.
I wouldn't let anyone near my feet with their face.
Look, I can't. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what. Look, I was.
Yeah.
I was really.
Were you drunk?
No.
Oh, that makes it fucking worse.
No.
That makes it worse.
I think I was just really in the mood. And I was like, I'll just do whatever you want. And then I was like, oh, why did I do that?
Oh.
Hasn't happened.
Yet.
But now I'm like, you can't blindfold me. So I don't know what you're gonna do.
Betsy watches this.
He will.
Betsy listens.
He'll
And he's
watch
like,
it,
oh,
and he'll be
let's
like,
go.
Wrist. Remember this? And I'm like, it expired.
It expired the night that we filmed
Yeah.
and posted. That's, sorry, you lost
Sorry.
your expiration date. It's done.
I'm gonna get in trouble for sure.
God, Jesus.
Oh well, what do you do?
Alrighty, fam. Well, we're gonna cut it there. We'll go into part 2 of what we were going to talk about.
Yes,
next
for sure.
week.
Yeah.
We'll do a 1 year recap type thing.
100%.
Same questions and all that jazz.
But I reckon we're also gonna do another car one soon. I think.
Yeah, we might. If you want to, we can save that for our year.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a fun one.
I have to go on like a weekend because the sun goes down.
Yes, daylight savings. We love that. Correct. Love that.
But yeah, so we'll get you guys in there. We'll do some new stuff. But yeah, really glad that we can obviously open up and just be like things are changing.
Yeah, we're still here.
Stick by us.
But things are changing. Cool. Well, love you, leave ya.
For sure.
And we will see you next week. No more weeks off. We'll see you next week.